Please stay tuned as we bring to you one of my most admired programming here, and that is Prashanti, which will be orchestrated by gorgeous Nalini Bhatt. Let's take a look.
Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food.
We at Prashanti offer our humblest pranams at the most sacred lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Welcome, brothers and sisters. This is Nalini. Every single discourse of Shri Baba began with Prema Swarupalara, or embodiments of love. Shri Baba is love and love is Baba. Throughout the month of February, we bring you how Shri Baba's divine love was experienced by people and how the devotees loved him in return. Today's Prashanti brings you Frank Baranowski, a scientist who studied auras, and his amazing discovery when he saw Baba's aura unlike any other he had seen in a human before. Later, Baranowski defined Shri Baba as love walking on 2 feet and made the momentous statement that such selfless love can only mean divinity.
See that Vrindavan gate? Right outside that, a person was waiting for someone. A Westerner comes from and asks him, "Sir, can you speak English?" That person, professor in English, smiled and said, "Yes, I do." Yes. The foreigner said, "The voice inside me told me that I should speak to you." And this professor says, "Oh, you must be the person Bhagwan said will come to meet me." Frank Baranowski was frankly taken aback. He said, "How, Baba? You that I'm a lecturer?" And that's how the story of the aura begins. Frank Baranowski was gifted with this ability to see auras of every human being, even as a baby. But after he grew up, he started studying this aura in great detail. The aura contains a variety of colors. Red indicates anger, predominant in many people. Blue, deep spirituality. Wow. And pink, which is rare, indicates love. Not just ordinary love, selfless love. Frank Baranowski, to set these two colors, pink and blue, he found in Baba at a level which he has not found in any human being. 40, 50 feet thick.
I came to India from America, a scientist, a researcher, studying the human aura. I've heard so much about Sathya Sai Baba from presidents of universities, physicians, psychiatrists. People who have touched in have never been the same since. I have heard so much about his abilities to heal, to be able to contact people telepathically, to help them. I saw him on a Sunday morning, very early. He was on a balcony giving blessings, and the aura that projected from Swami was incredible to describe. That intense spiritual blue was well, it was limitless. Beyond that were gold and silver bands, and the aura that projected from Swami was not that of any human individual that I've ever seen. In fact, it transcended far beyond the building, the boundaries of where he was standing. I watched Sai Baba for over a week as he walked among the people. But most of the time when he was with people, though the bands of blue were there, signifying the spirituality, the bands of pink were far beyond human imagination. Pink to a researcher shows limitless, selfless love. And I watched as he walked up to people and sometimes touched them. And the amazing thing is you could watch the negativity in their aura suddenly come to light with positive feeling. And as he walked away, part of his aura, part of his energy had mingled with theirs. His energy seems to be, well, it's endless. He never seems to tire. I watched him as he walked to a little girl in a wheelchair and tickled her. I was astounded at the aura of love that was well around them. Now, the aura that emanates from Swami definitely shows his love for people. I'm risking my reputation as I make this statement, but 2 days ago, I looked into the eyes of Sai Baba. They have a glow inside them that I've not seen in anyone else's. It was clear to me beyond any shadow of a doubt that I have looked into the face of divinity. In my estimation, Sai Baba is exactly what he appears to be, what he wants you to be, love. And that's what he is, just love.
And Baba says, when you have darshan, you receive my grace. Probably receiving his grace is receiving that love. Boy starts singing bhajans. Suddenly he gets up in the middle of the bhajan, goes to Swami, tells something to Swami. Swami says, stop the bhajan. Says, I took Baba's permission to interrupt. I wanted to tell you, as this bhajan is going on, Baba's aura is expanding, enveloping each and every one with that love.
Wow.
He made this momentous statement, Baba is love walking on 2 feet.
On 2 feet.
He has also created a device, a pendulum hanging by a special thread. This pendulum can measure the aura of a person by swinging away from the person. Where he shared with us afterwards that he stood in darshan quite far away.
Yes.
He said, I held it, the pendulum swung somewhere.
Amazing.
Baranowski, when he first saw the aura in darshan, he looked around to check whether any halogen light has been displayed on him. It was that very bright. My mother used to come after the Nagasankirtan darshan. Hey, did you see that aura? Flood of light. This was much before the discovery of Baranowski or the invention of Kirlian photography.
Indeed, Baba is divine love personified. He walked with people, talked to them, and touched millions with his inexhaustible love. Thank you for watching Prashanti. Jai Sai Ram.
Let's hit the road off with dear Nalini Bhatt's Prashanti. Here she will relay the magnificent look into Satya Sai Baba's life.
Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food.
We at Prashanti offer our humblest pranams at the most sacred lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Welcome brothers and sisters, this is Nalini. Last week on Prashanti, we learned that Shri Baba's aura was predominantly pink in color, a color which represents pure, selfless, divine love. Today we bring you the story of pink twins, so called because they wore pink all the time. But this nickname suited them perfectly, for these twins were nothing but pure, selfless love. The O'Brien sisters from Australia spent their entire lives serving others and founded a home for the handicapped called Swara, which stands for Sunshine Welfare and Remedial Association. Baba was very fond of the pink twins, and who else was more worthy than the pink twins in receiving Shri Baba's love?
As Baba says, you are part of the most distant star and the least little blade of grass. You shine as dewdrops on the petal of a rose. You are part and parcel of all this manifestation, which is me.
Ted, I do want to tell you how beautiful Baba is and how joyful we are to know him.
Moya and Dorothy O'Brien, longtime followers of Shri Sathya Sai Baba.
They call us the pink twins, you know. Baba loved us. He went like this right across the room.
He feels a 99% devotion. And I said, no, Baba, we're 100% devotion.
What was your feeling when you first laid eyes on his form?
Oh, incredible.
Any doubts?
Not from the very moment. The first time we saw him was on a Richard Block film, and he stood on the balcony. The heart just turned over. It was the most incredible experience.
Any doubts about Baba?
Never, never, never.
Absolute love. Moya, one of Swami's pink twin.
In 1981 we went to see him. We got an interview. Baba said, any spiritual questions? Or he said, Baba, will you help my husband to get a job? Will you help me with the book I'm writing? We were just organising a place for disabled people. And my twin sister Dorothy said, Baba, will you help us with that place with Wara for disabled people? And he said, come up here. You tell me, what will you do for them? She said, oh, we'll love them and we'll try to understand them. He said, oh, to understand them is difficult, but to love them is easy. When Dorothy died, he took my hands and he said, oh, you have been together all your lives. Now she's gone and you feel so alone. But all of a sudden his face lit up and he said, But you are not alone, because I'm with you. And he saw the ring and he said, her ring. Whenever you look in that ring, he said, I will be there to help, and you will see me in there sometimes. I will give you everything you need. I'll give peace, good health, and I'll give you love.
Are you familiar with miracles?
Oh yes, Dorothy was in a wheelchair. I was on crutches. Came to Baba, struggled on the crutches in the wheelchair, and he said, I will heal you both. Dorothy hadn't walked for a long time. He lifted her up, sort of stood her up, and he took her hand and he walked her. And she walked all the way back from the Mandir up to here. A place called Swara. I'm for Sunshine Welfare and Remedial Association. What we do with our disabled people, try to make life more fulfilled for them, let them feel that they're important in the world.
Who is Sai Baba?
Sai Baba is total love.
He's God, he's everything.
Sai
We sang it to him in English. Without singing to the Lord, there's no peace or happiness. Without praising his name, there's no breathing or bliss. There is no one as near and as dear as the Lord, and be adored.
Beautiful.
And he said, very happy. We said, Baba, we don't understand why you're so loving, so good to us. He didn't say you make books, no, you run a place for disabled people. He said, you two serve with the mind. That if we're no longer able to do the physical work, we can just serve with the mind by pouring love on people. And that means that we can give love to everybody, and we do, and do healing on them. Visualise their faces, and then I say to Baba, please bring healing to them. And then if they're sad, I try and visualise the light, and suddenly their face lightens up, and you feel that there's something coming in.
Have you figured out why you're here?
We're here because Baba's called us for his mission. The mission really is for us, not for him. To understand who we are, our divinity, and that we're all part of him, merged with that divinity again. And while we're doing that, we have a responsibility to help anybody we can on the way. So we're not doing it just selfishly for ourselves. If you can't feel real love for them, you can feel compassion. Compassion's the nearest to love. We have to work out the last of our karma before we get there, so that's why most lives are fairly difficult. If we understand this, we're grateful for things and got a lot of energy just to service with the mind.
Service with mind. What a beautiful concept, which can be accessed by anybody, anytime, anywhere. Thank you for watching Prashanti. Jai Sai Ram.
To begin with, Mrs. Nalini Bhatt. She will now feature a True to Heart segment called Prashanti. It is indeed a wonderful segment. Let's take a look.
Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath.
We at Prashanti offer our humblest pranams at the most sacred lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Welcome, brothers and sisters. This is Nalini. Shri Baba writes in Satya Sai Speaks, love transcends time and space. Love heals. Love bestows bliss. Love destroys evil. Love transforms. There is one way of getting over the effects of karma. If you earn God's grace, mountains of sins will be reduced to dust. Only God's love has the power to confer such grace. Mountains of cotton can be burned down with a single spark of fire. How can we put that spark of fire to burn down the mountain of human predicament? Only through divine love, says Baba. Shri Baba's foremost teaching is love all, serve all. Baba is love, and he wants everyone to become love. He says, I have come to light the lamp of love, to see that it burns day by day with added luster. Baba says, I have come to tell you of this unitary faith, of this path of love, of this path of spirituality, of this obligation of love, of this duty of love. Today on Prashanti, we bring you precious gems of Shri Baba's teachings on love and how he poured love on all.
In the bank of your heart, deposit love. It is eternal, permanent, it doesn't waver. God is full of love from top to toe. A doll made up of sugar. If you cut the nose and taste it is sweet, cut the ear and taste it is. You may pray God in any way, but He is full of love. Don't need to do any spiritual practice. Meditate on love. You may doubt how to discharge household duties. Do your duty and offer it to God. That is love. Feel that everything should please God. All are embodiments of God. Love should grow day by day, should shine like moon. Even the moonlight changes as per the season. On dark night, but this love is the full moon. There's no scope for dark night. Do your duty in the world. If you are after God, you will have everything else. Bhagavan will never harm anybody, never hated anybody. It is the love of Bhagavan that brings transformation. To correct you, Swami may pout as if he is angry, but he is not. Right from the nail to the hair, there's love. Be in the divine mind, but not in the deep wine mind. Sacred young men and women.
My dear friends,
if you want to be dear friends of Bhagavan, conduct yourself properly. You don't need to come here.
I will come there, wherever you stay. I am with you, in you, around you, behind you. I am not separate from you. I and you are one. Only one Guru, one God, one goal.
Bhagavan blesses you. Right from dawn to dusk, all our deeds should be full of love.
Start the day with love, end the day with love, spend the day with love, end the day with love,
and
with the way to God.
When saris were distributed, I said, thanks, Swami.
I am not third person, I am second person.
Your mother feeds you. Will you ever thank your mother? When outsider serves you food, you thank him.
I am not outsider.
Never say thank you, Swami. Right? Have this feeling of the right that is my Swami alone. Then you will have rights of all sorts. Bhagavan doesn't want anything. But Bhagavan wants one thing. Bhagavan wants your love.
Prema not your property. That is also my property.
As God has gifted you with love, gift him back the same love. That's main service.
Love.
Bhagavan's divinity and the sanctity, nobody can know in full.
First Christmas 20 years back,
Swami sang,
love is my form, truth is my breath, bliss is my food. My life is my message, expansion is my life. No season for love, no region for love, no birth, no death. Love is his form. My life is my message.
Bhagavan's whole property is one. Love is ready to give his body. Love is your wealth. Preserve, protect this divine love. Have sacred life, long life, happy life. All your difficulties will leave you.
Shri Baba says the speed of love is such that it can go round the universe in 1 second. The speed of light may be estimated, but not the speed of love. Thus, we can travel on the vehicle of love around the universe in matter of seconds and spread love on all of humanity. Thank you for watching Prashanti. Jai Sai Ram.
It's a full show, so we better roll on over to Mrs. Nalini Bhatt, who is so very gracious to present a loving segment titled Prashanti. Let's meet her with her story on Satya Sai Baba.
Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food.
We at Prashanti offer our humblest pranams at the most sacred lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Welcome brothers and sisters, this is Nalini. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, there was a huge influx of Westerners into Prashanti Nilayam. Today, we bring you the story of Mr. Al Drucker, a German physicist who came into Sri Baba's fold after his life was miraculously saved by Bhagavan. Al Drucker stayed in Prashanti Nilayam for 9 long years and has given valuable insights into Baba's teachings through his writings. His book, Sai Baba Gita, The Way to Self-Realization and Liberation in This Age, throws ample light on the essence of Gita as taught by Bhagavan. Al Drucker's journey with Sai Baba was one of pure love and devotion, and it reveals that there are myriad ways of loving Bhagavan. His various experiences with Baba have been recorded and documented beautifully by Mr. Ted Henry's Soul Journeys interviews, and it's a pure delight and a blessing to watch them. Al Drucker's treasure trove of spiritual experiences are so vast and rich that we are bringing his conversations with Mr. Ted Henry in 3 parts. Let's watch the first part today.
In 2015, Al Drucker turned 88. As a child, he came to America with his family fleeing Nazi Germany. He worked as a physicist and became a specialist in intercontinental missile guidance systems. Eventually, Al shifted his focus to more humanitarian pursuits and to Sai Baba. Past 40 years, they made over 25 trips to be with Sai Baba. While living at Sai Baba, Al reverted to lecturing on astrophysics. Al Drucker is one of a kind. Sai Baba University professor, atomic physicist, healer, Holocaust survivor.
Swami says, "Who are you?" I said, "I am Baba." "You are Baba?" "Yes, Swami. I am one with Sai Baba." He said, "Very good." He gives me a little tap on the shoulder. He says, "Now you go out and give darshan."
It's a great story. I wanted to ask you if you ever took him up on that. Did you want
Of course not. Then he asked me, "What do you want?" And I said, "Swami, nothing." I didn't have any wants and no desire. That didn't satisfy him. And he said, "What do you want?" I said, "Swami, I'm very happy. I'm contented. No wants, nothing." He said, "What do you want?" "Swamiji, all I want is you." "That's not nothing. That's everything." Then he gives a long list. That's health, wealth. I can't remember all the words he used. He points to the bazaar and he says, "That's nothing. This is everything."
You've been around him for many years. You've learned a few lessons. What if somebody were to seriously ask you, who are you, Al?
It's Sat, Chit, Ananda. And then there's a name and a form. Sat, pure being. Chit, total consciousness. Ananda, that eternal delight of being. That love that knows no bounds. So that's who I am, but that's not necessarily who I feel. Like I feel like I'm this guy sitting here. That is also Satchidananda, and it has a particular name and a form. Everything I could ever think of, could ever be, everything that has any meaning or everything that has no meaning is just Sat, Chit, Ananda, and name and form. If you could remember that, that is really the only sadhana that's ever required. Swami actually came to visit our place at Esalen in California.
Swami came.
Swami came. He came in for several visits. I'd always ask Swami, "Swami, when you come to America, will you come and bless my place, Esalen Institute?" Yeah. He said, "Yes, I will come." And so one time I was there in India, and Swami said, "I came to your place. Where were you?" And I didn't know what he was talking about. Baba had shown up on the deck outside. The staff of Esalen had gathered for a bhajan while I went off to India in my place. Swami showed up on the deck, came walking through the glass doors, sat down on the chair in my puja room, and went around and touched everybody to see that he was actually a physical person, and then sat back down in the chair and told them to sing. They sang some bhajan, and then he got up, blessed everybody, went back out through the glass doors and disappeared. In India, he comes up to me and he says, "Very nice bhajan, but not good Sanskrit pronunciation. Tell them to sing English."
He showed up while you were absent just to pull your leg and let you know.
Well, just to show that he is not limited by time or space. Of course not. None of us are. But we choose to be.
Please tune in next week to watch Prashanti, where Al Drucker narrates a mind-blowing incident when his life was saved by Bhagwan Baba. Thank you for watching Prashanti. Jai Sai Ram.
And with those words on love, it's time to slide towards Nalini Bhatt, who with lots of love is getting ready to feature her lovely segment called Prashanti. Here she will orchestrate another beautiful episode of Satya Sai Baba. Let's take a look.
Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my
We at Prashanti offer our humblest pranams at the most sacred lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Welcome brothers and sisters, this is Nalini. Previously on Prashanti, we have immersed ourselves in the exhilarating experiences of Al Drucker, a German physicist, naturopath and a pilot. Today we bring you, among other things, Al Drucker's life being saved in a most spectacular way up in the sky when his life was in dire danger by our Bhagwan. Let's watch.
I was flying around 15,000. There was so much hail coming at the plane, it actually knocked out a window. There's this rush of air and sound.
You're starting to fear for your life?
Fearful enough that I hadn't thought of God for 25 years. I suddenly turned to God, God, if you're anywhere around, please help. I don't want to die. And within a minute or so, suddenly these speakers came alive. And there was this voice and said, aircraft in distress, can you hear me? Here comes this angel to help. He said, if you can hear me, just turn your plane 60 degrees to the right and then turn back to your present heading. I did like he said. He carried on for about 7 or 8 minutes. He was just so certain about what he was saying. I just followed him. He talked in the most strange way. He said, start a gradual descent, cut back on your power. And he said, in 5 minutes, you'll be breaking out of the overcast and you'll be aligned with a strip. Goodbye and good luck. And that was the end of him. 5 minutes later, I come out of all this weather and flew in, and it was a kind of a rough landing. This guy on the tower, I said, where did you come from? Well, you can thank God that you're alive, because there is no way you could have survived through that storm. How did you get here? I said, well, there was a ground controller that brought me into this field. He said, ground controller? There are no ground controllers anywhere near here. Quite some time after that, I got to India. A young man came up to me. He said, excuse me, sir, is your name Drucker? I said, yes. How do you know me? He said, well, I've been sent by Swami. What? He said, Swami has told me to ask you to kindly write up your aircraft story. How Swami saved your life. He said, as it was happening, Swami was narrating this story, how he came on the radio. I had to go save that man. He said he was flying for his own pleasure and going into the storm. And so I had to write it up for the college magazine.
Baba says this is a dream. How are we to know what is real?
Trust in Swami. When Swami speaks, he doesn't say, my dear merchants and housewives. He calls you very embodiment of the divine love. Who are you going to believe? Your little mind that tells you, I'm just this little insignificant one, and are you going to believe Swami? You're in a dream of awakening. It's all going to be over very quickly. There's nothing of any value here at all. And Swami is totally internalized. I don't know the difference between me and Swami.
Who is Sai Baba?
Sai Baba is my true self. I have no other identity than that. One time in India, it was alleged that I was a CIA agent, and when I refused to go with the constable who arrested me and said I have to first see Sai Baba. He agreed to that. I went to see Swami. I said, Swami, they're saying I'm a CIA agent. He said, you are CIA. You said, no, Swami, I have nothing to do with the CIA. Yes, you do. You are CIA. You are constant, integrated awareness. You are pure awareness, totally integrated and included in me. That is who I am. That is what you are. And that is Sai Baba. He said, if you want to assess my will and you're not sure, take two little pieces of paper or cardboard and write on one of them yes, on the other one no, and on the back side put an Om. So yes Om and no Om. And then come to your inner sanctum of holiness. Still your mind. And then evoke my image. And then ask the question in a way that I can answer with a yes and no. And then just use your chits and throw them. I will give you an answer. This is a red phone, and it's a direct line to me. I will always give you the right answer, but don't test me. If you don't like the answer, don't try it again. So a yes Om is a yes, a no Om is a no. A yes no is you go do what you do, but I will not guide you in this one. And an Om is wait. Everything is a gift. You have nothing to do but to be grateful. Language becomes very, very simple. It just becomes yes. Yes, thanks, wow. It is all given to you. Think God, be God.
More next time. Thank you for watching Prashanti. Jai Sai Ram.
To begin with, Nalini Bhatt's Prashanti. Here we get to enjoy Madam Nalini's weekly fascinating stories on Satya Sai Baba. Let's hear one such story today. Stay with us.
Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath, this is my food. Love is my form, truth is my breath.
We at Prashanti offer our humblest pranams at the most sacred lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Welcome brothers and sisters, this is Nalini. Previously on Prashanti, we have immersed ourselves in the exhilarating experiences of Al Drucker, a German physicist, naturopath and a pilot. Today we bring you, among other things, Al Drucker's life being saved in a most spectacular way up in the sky when his life was in dire danger by our Bhagwan. Let's watch.
I said, Swami, what about all these missiles, these nuclear weapons? Because I was very concerned that I was involved with it. And Swami said, the world is not your business, sir. I will never allow an atom bomb to be used in anger. He had the power to make that statement. He said, why do you fear when I am here? I said, Swami, it was cancer. He said, cancer, cancel. And fear of death left me permanently. I died of liver cancer. One day, I was up on the ceiling, looking down on this body. A friend, cardiologist, was trying to revive this body. And I could look down and see that none of this was going to work. I'm not returning into that body. I was no longer confined to a space. There was no sense of an I in that. I was terribly afraid of death. Here, it was just like being a witness to everything that was going on anywhere, as if you had a million eyes. I found myself sort of drifting back into this body. As soon as I had some feeling again, as this Al Drucker revived, felt like I was coming into a garbage can. Why would I want to be here? I knew from that point on, the fear of death is a joke. You would be afraid of that kind of an experience? Doesn't make any sense at all. I had the feeling at that point that I should go see Swami. No visa. And he says, you can't come into India. You don't have a current visa. I said, I have to come. Sai Baba is calling for me. He said, Sai Baba knows you? You just go. He says, Al, come quickly. There's a long distance call coming for you. I pick up the line. A lady says, well, I'm the international telegraph operator in Honolulu calling. She says, but I have a telegram. I said, where's it from? She spells out Prashanti Nilium. I said, really? Who's it from? It's signed Baby. It says, "Come immediately to the one who loves you as none other," signed Baby. And she says, "Wow, you must have a sweetie over there that really loves you."
Al Drucker's sweetie over there, not Baby, Baba, Shri Sathya Sai Baba.
Baba saved Drucker's life, even before Drucker had ever met Sai Baba.
Who is Sai Baba?
You cannot answer that question. Who would hear it? The mind will hear it. It's not within the capacity of the mind to know who Sai Baba is, who you are, or for me to know who I am. He says, this is an ordinary body. This body was born, this body will die. I said, no, Swami, yours is a holy body. He said, not holy body, ordinary body. Bodies are born, bodies will die. He said, but has come with a very important message. That is what Baba is about. And then he hits me on the chest, and he said, this drunker body, he calls me drunker, this drunker body is not important. It will also die. The Atma is what is important. Think only of Atma. Swami said, you give the Christmas talk. And I said, Swami, I don't know anything about Jesus. I'm not a Christian. What are you? I said, Swami, I was brought up in the Jewish tradition. He says, Jesus was 100% Jew, Pucker Jew. I'm always aware of the dream. Then I'm watching a movie, but at the same time I have an emotional response to everything that goes on, but I realize that it's all just a movie as a further stage, in which you're not the actor, because you don't exist anymore. You never existed. All that exists is Satchidananda. Forget the world, remember God, never fear death. That's one of Swami's many mantras. Everything is these 5 things. Sat, Chit, Ananda, Nama, and Rupa. Sat, Chit, Ananda are eternal, the divinity. Sat is pure being. You're so busy trying to learn things, but being gets lost in becoming. Don't go running after becoming. Just be. The truth of your being is just that I am. Chit is pure consciousness, has all knowledge within it, and it is Ananda. It is pure delight, pure love. Love can also be interpreted as Ananda.
Sojourns, pauses to remember one of Sai Baba's most ardent followers. On February 20th, 2016, Al Drucker left this world. He did not believe was real. The nearly 90-year-old body he left behind was something else Al Drucker did not believe was real. He would say only God is real. Many Sojourns interviews can be found on our website, sojourns.net.
More next time. Thank you for watching Prashanti. Jai Sai Ram.